love the fact that we got to experience diving into improv from the very beginning. Like, I've always had melodies floating around in my head, but I've never been able to tell kids, oh, hear these melodies. So our instructors took us from step one on how to think about chord progressions, how to think about melodies, and then built upon that more and more steps that we can do to explore the melody, explore the progressions. And by the end of this workshop, I've got a lot more melodies and a lot more scat in my head. I'm so excited to bring that to my kids.
Cool.
I also really enjoyed the model of the guided listening, because a lot of times our students don't necessarily listen to jazz, and so you guys gave us, here's a list of 75 jazz standards. Here's a list of very important and prominent jazz artists. Here are some people that you should start with. So now I can go back, create Spotify playlists, or I can, create those playlists that I can share with my students and open the door for them to have some guided listening, and then maybe even start a listening journal that we incorporate into the classroom.
Cool.
And then on top of that, a lot of times when you've been teaching for a while and you don't necessarily get the opportunity to perform yourself, this was yet another reminder of, oh yeah, this is why I decided I wanted to be a music educator, because I love singing, I love music, and I love all of the things that music does to evoke emotion, to tell stories. And this was my reminder of, okay, you can't pour from an empty cup. So you need to find ways so that your cup can be filled, so that your students can get the very best of you.
Because I think like all of us would say, we want to build a family. We want to build a really welcoming environment, a place where kids can be vulnerable, and that's like not like, yes, the program here, that's a culture and the environment, but that's also just jazz. We walk into a room and we have to feel okay to take risks and branch out, and that's like stretched me a lot personally. I was like lamenting to Clarice yesterday that yesterday was like an existential crisis in a ball for me, but yeah, I mean, if we want to, like on the musical side and on the relational side, have that kind of culture and family and vulnerability and risk taking and authenticity, we've got to be able to do it, so I've got to be able to take risks so that my kids will feel safe to take risks, and so that it won't just be this thing I'm saying to them, but like if you really want to foster that, you've got to model it just like you would vocal technique or style, it's awesome. It's the same thing. So.
And I think part of being able to do that as a teacher is because of the length of the workshop. I was just telling my husband last night that, when you go to the Music Educator Association conventions, you get 45 minutes of a new concept and you can't practice it, you can't apply it, get critiqued on how you're doing it. But this was an immersion experience where you were able to start to build habits. And like I said, I had like improv melodies in my head, some, but I couldn't spit them out. But after being here for a couple of days, it became easier. So just developing that skill yourself, I think it's well worth the workshop. If you want to put something new and something, like you said, something else that will build family into your program.
Cool.
And also, you're going to give tools to your students to be able to walk in any space and make music.
So cool.
Like once you've learned a chart, blue skies is blue skies, and you can say, hey, this is the key I'm going to do it in, and let's make some music. Yeah, and a lot of times you can't, there are many things that we do in our choir programs that require other things in order to make the music. This gives your students a way to make music from the jump.